Alright, what's up y'all, it's LakerFan here. As you see by the title in today's video, we're going over all 75 badges in NBA 2K20. As you can see, the build right here that I made, it only has 60 available. I'm pretty sure this is about as many as I can get without having like 30 in one category. But anyway, real quick, I think a fire video idea for a legend, if anybody is watching this, would be to use all 75 badges in 2K20 in like one video. I think that'd be so cool and original. But anyway, moving along, we're detailing all 75. I'm not going to go over too detailed, just at the fact that that would be like a 30-40 minute long video, because there are 75 of these. Even if I spend a minute on each, then that's still going to be like obviously way too long. So we're going to keep it pretty brief, and I'll just overview every single thing how I feel about every badge. So I'll just start by saying good, bad, average, decent, just a word to summarize it, and then kind of just say in what instance I feel like it should be used. So anyway, moving along, we're gonna get right into this. Acrobat, decent. I feel like this is something that every finisher that has the ball in their hand should use. If you use hop dunks a lot, this is definitely a badge for you, because the hop dunks, if you don't actually dunk it, the layups obviously are going to be major benefit. Now, if you like to do the Euros and stuff, I feel like that's kind of a broken aspect to this game, where hop dunks are the far and beyond only thing you should ever do. I wish they would fix it to where hop dunks were less OP and everything else was kind of added to a boost like the Euros and stuff. But anyway, if you're a finisher with the ball in your hand as a point guard, I think Acrobat is a must. Obviously, back down Punisher, if you're a big man, I feel like that's a must. But I will say, if you don't want the ball in your hands, obviously you don't need it. This is a pretty self-explanatory badge. Does exactly what you would want it to do. Obviously, there's not much else to it. Consistent finisher, big time badge. I would say no matter what, have this on bronze, no matter what your build is. I feel like this will help you make layups regardless, like regular layups as well. Obviously, Acrobat, like I said, is more for the hop layups and stuff like that. Consistent will pertain to every layup. Now, my beef with that, and I'll get to Pro Touch when we talk about it, is that it's tough to like actually time layups. So another thing that I'm saying is that this will help you on the lates, earlies, stuff like that. Just helps you make more layups. I would really recommend to use this badge no matter what you are. Contact finisher, very obvious badge. This is for all the slashers out there that want to get the contact dunks. But I think this will also help you make some BS layups as well. But for the most part, if you're a finisher if you're a point guard that can't really get contact dunks, I would probably recommend things like consistent and maybe even Acrobat or Slithery for you more than that. But anyway, moving along, cross key score, garbage badge. But what I will say is, with how many close shot fadeaways are like cheesing the game right now on these baseline faders, this could actually be something to use as a shooter, as a point guard. Like the way that Ticino plays, bro, it'd be kind of funny to see this badge in action, because it lights up on the super close off dribble middies. So just keep that in mind. Deep hooks, decent badge, but I feel like the way that post game works this year, where it's like, I feel like the super close fades and hooks are just uncontestable anyway. So I don't know if taking deep range ones really makes too much of sense to do, but obviously the badge is great. It's like range extender, but obviously with hooks, I think this is a solid badge. Drop stepper, obviously OP, but like then again, I don't know. It just pertains to what play style you are. Great badge though. If you have it on Hall of Fame, it's tough to deal with as far as like, you know, the people just shifting you in animations. Fancy footwork. I've had beef with this badge all year, back and forth. Don't know how to feel about it. I think personally, all that it does is stun your defender and make it so he can't move. I don't think it improves your hop distance or range at all, or quickness, I should say. Distance or quickness. And I just feel like the badge is a bit overrated in the community, but I still use it to an extent if I'm ISOing. So I'd say it's an okay badge, but I don't hold it as highly as I do Acrobat or Consistent or Contact or even Relentless for that matter. But anyway, fast break finisher, garbage badge. Doesn't really help your takeover. I wouldn't recommend using this at all. I just think it's kind of trash, and the amount of times that it's going to light up are just not worth it. Giant Slayer. What I will say about this badge, I know I've heard that Mike Wang says that 6 inches or more distance between the person that you are and the one that you're finishing on is where this badge will superly light up. But like, I don't know. My guy is 6'9", and it only pops up on 7 threes. Now, does it mean the badge isn't functioning if it's not popping up? Probably not. But just keep in mind, I think 6-inch difference is probably the prime time to use it. Lob City finisher. I feel like, honestly, they're starting to nerf lobs, and I feel like you miss a lot more of them. So I would really recommend using this badge. Anytime that I don't, I feel like I am missing real bad when it's sort of contested. Now, if you're going to get wide open finishes, probably don't need this at all. But like I said, this is really more so for finishing contested lobs. Pick and roller, trash badge, don't recommend it, yada yada, it's trash. Pro touch, still kind of trash. Honestly, as a finisher, I wouldn't recommend it at all, but as a post score, the only reason I have this badge is like decent is as a post score, obviously for pro touch on post hooks, it's insane. Like it will help you green your hooks and just, you know, make your like really good timing whites on the slightly earlys and slightly lates, as you can see. But as a finisher, I feel like it's trash just at the fact that A, it's hard to time your layups. B, I don't even think they let you time your layups. Like, I'm starting to think I get a late on every single layup I take, even if it's early. It's just ridiculous. Putback boss. On bronze, great badge. Wouldn't put it any higher though. Enables putback dunks and boosts the shot attribute, yada yada, you get the deal. Enables putback dunks is the key here. I think that's actually something really slept on, but I don't really use it just in a comp situation because I don't really care for putback dunks while playing the stage. If I ever hit up the park again, I'll probably put this on. But anyway, relentless finisher, great badge. I would recommend this for all the good finishers out there, whether you're a big man or a forward or even just a guard. But definitely on the 1v1 court regardless, that's big time. So anyway, relentless, solid badge, pretty good. Showtime, nah, it's pretty trash. I would like for it to work the way I wish it did, where it would boost your takeover a good amount, but Showtime, pretty whack. But then again, I may try this with takeover booster, then I'll change my opinions on it possibly. But anyway, slithery finisher, great badge. I kind of discovered this on my own a couple like months back or so, and I feel like this changed the way my dude finishes as far as like just attacking the rim on my own. But anyway, then we got teardropper, pretty trash as well, not really worth using in my opinion. Now, as a guard, like an outside guard, maybe this badge is useful. If you have a good driving layup, but not good driving dunk, maybe you could use this. But anyway, moving along to the shooting, I'm gonna make a cut real quick. Okay, so now on to the shooting badges. So we got catch and shoot first, and then like I said, we're gonna work all the way down to volume shooter. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit. This is gonna take a long time. So anyway, catch and shoot, good badge. 2K Labs recommends that this be no higher than silver, I think, or maybe it's bronze catch and shoot and silver corner specialist. That's just their study on it. That's what they recommend. So I would say use this, but only on bronze if you have enough shooting badge points. But most point guards are not going to have enough points to use stuff like this. So I'm assuming for role players, boom, catch and shoot, good to use. Clutch shooter activates in park. I will say it's actually a pretty good badge, but again, it's just tough to find badge points for it if you're like kind of a play sharp mold, because these ones in this bottom right corner are so big to your game. But anyway, corner specialist, again, I think 2K Labs doesn't recommend to put this any higher than silver. I know there's a lot of people that use this, especially like the fading away guards. Again, to mention Ticino, he uses this on silver. Deadeye, great badge. I feel like in the pick and roll you need this. In the pick and pop or ISO, maybe not as much, but in pick and roll you're gonna have a couple contested shots that you need to be able to hit like that, and I think that's a great badge. I feel like people kind of hold this too lowly, but then again, not many people run true pick and roll inside big much more. Deep fades, again, same thing as deep hooks. I feel like it's a solid badge for what it does, but then again, super close fades, like they're uncontestable anyway. So 2K needs to fix that in general, and then maybe deep fades will be useful, but at the moment, not really. Difficult shots. I hear 2K Labs kind of mentions how apparently for every level of badge that you have on this, it's like +1 to your attributes. That sounds really weird and not true, but then again, I have no choice but to believe them. So it sounds like Hall of Fame upgrades your off dribble mid range by 4, and bronze would do by 1. Honestly, pretty good badge if you're gonna play. Again, I keep mentioning Ticino. Anyway, if you're gonna do the hop jumpers and stuff like that, definitely recommend this badge. That's probably what it's big time for. But off dribble middies, not the most impactful in my opinion. I've seen a lot of people do really well without it. Flexible release, trash badge. If you have this on, you just, I don't know, you just can't, you don't belong in a shooter. Honestly, that's what it comes down to. Green machine, great badge. I believe the way this works is after every 2 greens that you make, well, you know, after you green 2 shots, then boom, green machine kicks in, and now you have more likeliness to consecutively green every time until you miss, obviously. So anyway, moving along, hot start, solid badge. I would maybe recommend it for 2s or any post score. This is a great badge for the posts on the deep hooks and like post fades, because it still pertains to your deep hooks or just, you know, the hook shots in general. But anyway, would I recommend this for pro-am? Not at all. But anyway, hot zone hunter, the staple badge of shooters. I feel like this one has to be at the highest level no matter what you are. Now I will say the way that they changed the hot zones like a month ago, it kind of changed that badge. It was by far the best one in the game, and now your hot zones kind of go away, turn into cold zones if you shoot bad in the park or just wherever you're at. So just keep that in mind. Ice and Veins, trash. If not even good for Pro-Am. It's just, why even have this badge? Pick and Popper, solid, but still a little, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel about this. I don't even know how many rim sharps use this badge, honestly. But I don't know. Yeah, I would probably recommend not to use this. Honestly, I guess my expertise doesn't really know too much about this badge, but I would just say probably don't hold it in the highest regard. Pump Fake Maestro, why even have this? Quick Draw, the staple badge, you need this obviously. I see a couple people use silver. A lot of people use Hall of Fame if they can, and some people still just use gold even if they can use Hall of Fame. Honestly, I feel like the faster the better, but regardless, we'll just move along. Range Extender, obviously another big staple in the shooting badges. You need this at the highest level that you can put it, unless your play style doesn't pertain to it, where you're just kind of spotting up from the corner. But obviously, we all know, great badge. Slippery Off Ball. If you are inside center and only have one badge, highly recommend this. I use this myself. I love it. It makes my dude just roll so much faster as well. But honestly, as an off-ball sharp, maybe use it, but still, again, I don't think there's enough shooting badge points to be using stuff like this. But I don't know. You become a master with it. I've seen one dude use it on Hall of Fame before, and he was tough to deal with. I'll say that. But again, not many people use it. Steady Shooter. Honestly, you want to hear my true opinion on this. I feel like this is a good badge to have. Use it on bronze. See how you feel about it. I saw my dude Kitchen use this badge one time, like one sitting, and this dude was like out here hitting 80% contested. It's honestly ridiculous, but I don't want to hold this badge too highly, just because I know not a lot of people will really see it like that. But honestly, you should test it out. I really would recommend that. Tireless Shooter, solid badge to have. Not going to give too much detail to that. And then Volume Shooter, I'm not sure how many shots have to tick in, but I believe it's just a couple. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but anyway, moving along. Ankle Breaker. Sadly, it's not as good as it should be. I wish they would go back to the days of 2K17, but I will say, you have Playmaker Takeover, you could really use this badge. I will say, with Playmaker Takeover, it makes sense too, but regardless, no. Bailout, great badge. On bronze, you barely miss any passes ever. Gold, they're usually always on target, and Hall of Fame, always on target. I think that's actually a really good badge to have. It lets you pass out of shots and double teams. Break Starter, really overrated badge. I don't recommend using this at all. I feel like, depending on your pass accuracy, I have like 77 pass accuracy myself, I guess, so on my main build. So I don't know. I guess I don't really have the best idea for this badge on like the low pass accuracies, but I will say with 77, I can make every outlet pass on any rebound and usually never miss. Anyway, Dimer, great badge to have. Obviously, it helps your teammates shoot. Simple as that. Downhill, great badge as well. I think this is a little bit underrated, but then again, it's only for players like mine, I guess, where I'll grab a rebound, go coast to coast. It's a beautiful thing to have on a finisher, but for the rim sharps, obviously, no, that's a no-go. Dream Shake, okay, but still, I don't really recommend it. Obviously, it's only pertained to post scores. Flashy Passer, OP badge. I get my takeover off flashy passes, even on gold, with 2 dunks. 2 3-pointers will be takeover as well if you're a sharp. It's an insane badge. You have to look into this if you don't know about it already. It honestly is pretty game breaking, but it's like stayed quiet in the community. I can't really believe that it's actually been so quiet. But anyway, Floor General, great badge. Every point you have on it will upgrade your teammates' ratings by 1. So Hall of Fame give your teammates +4. Gotta run this badge on Pro-Am. Simple as that. 3v3, pretty good as well. But 2s is where it gets kind of condensed, where there's not a lot of people on the court, so it's tough to find a spot for this. But anyway, and then on Hall of Fame, you can see the shooting percentages of your teammates and yourself. Handles for days, good badge to have, especially as a ball handler. Regardless, if not, then it's not a good badge, obviously. But great to have as a ball handler. You got to have this at the highest ability for the most part. Lob City Passer, pretty overrated. I feel like you can make a lot of the lob passes pretty easily without it. I feel like you don't really need this badge, and all I do is catch lobs, and all my teammates ever have is no lob passer. So I can say it's a pretty overrated badge. Needle Threader, okay, decent. I haven't really seen it firsthand. I know Poor Boy Sim was talking about how this is like way better than even having Lob City Passer because they just thread the needle, but I don't know. I wouldn't recommend this if you don't have enough playmaking badges. As a pure playmaker, it probably makes a lot of sense to have. Pass Fake Maestro, no. Post Spin Technician, really good, but again, obviously it only pertains to the post scores. I think I use this on the 1v1 court for guards who press me on the inbound and try to force pickups. I would really recommend this for that, but regardless, the only time I'd really recommend Post Spin Technician is if obviously you're working in the post, but that's pretty self-explanatory. I don't know why I even went there. Quick First Step, obviously one of the best playmaking badges. this difference that you get from like 0 to bronze, or even 0 to gold, or 0 to Hall of Fame is insane. Like, this is a great badge to have. Will make you really like explosive out of those triple threats and just explosions on the hezzies and stuff. Really good badge to have. I really recommend. Space Creator. Bro, this badge on bronze is insane. Like, I have used this firsthand. You will make people fall, even on bronze, super easily if you just have this. And then all you have to do is do hop jumpers. It's simple as that. Honestly, it's pretty hilarious too. It's basically what ankle breakers should do. Stop and go. I think this is a trash badge, but what I've seen it really good for is my guards when they do a moving hezzy, or like coming up the court and do a hezzy. A lot of people think they're going to behind the back off of it, and then boom, it lets them just stop on a dime and shoot off that hezzy. I think this is a good thing to have, but only for comp players, I would say. But anyway, tight handles, game breaking badge. This has made ISO the most dominant thing ever, and then just honestly, just anything to do with dribbling. Tight handles is super broken. But anyway, moving along, Unpluckable, not really a great badge. I feel like it could be better if they would fix it, but I feel like Unpluckable doesn't do what it should. I've seen a lot of people with 30 steal rating poke somebody with this on Hall of Fame with 95 ball control. I've seen people with 90 steal rating not able to poke it from people with 50 ball control. It's a really wishy-washy badge, and I don't think it's the most impactful. Box. I will say, I used to use this a lot higher than I do currently. I only use it on bronze or silver, but I would really recommend to never take this off fully. I feel like the only problem you'll run into if you don't run it is if somebody has worm, and if they have worm, you are screwed. It's simple as that. But if they don't have it, then you're good. There's really no worry about like having a low level box. I think that's literally what it is, just a counter to worm. But anyway, brick wall, great badge to have, but I feel like I've seen people use I've seen people use some big body screens with no brick wall, but I really am just afraid to take it off of Hall of Fame because all I do is screen and I'm inside big. So my ability to get my guard open is the ability to get myself open. So I use this at the highest level no matter what. Chase Down Artist, great badge. In case anybody's new to the channel, I use a finisher defender combo, so my area of expertise is finishing and defending. Now, Chase Down Artist, I put this badge on early in the year, and I feel like that's become a thing, and I would like to credit myself as well as Pogo Stick. These are my two like pride badges. I take a lot of pride in finding these. But anyway, Chase Down Artist, really good for hedge defenders, really good for ball handler defenders where you're trying to chase down on the drives. I recommend to use this badge no matter who you are on at least bronze. If you're an inside big or just a big man in general, I would definitely use this on Hall of Fame for the hedge defense purposes. And then if you're guarding ISO, I would use this at the highest level possible. Clamps, great badge, but what I will say is, in the pick and roll, I've seen guards that have it really low. They force these automatic blow-bys that you hate to see as a guard. But in the ISO, this is a big-time badge. You need this for the body ups and the forced pickups and stuff like that. And on the 1v1 court, major badge. You got to have this no matter what. Defensive leader, same thing as floor general that I was detailing earlier, where for every level that you have it, it goes up one level. So if you have it bronze, your teammates' defensive ratings go up by 1. Have it Hall of Fame, they go up by 4. At Hall of Fame, you unlock the ability to see what the opponent shoots on for their like percentages or their ability to hit from their spot. Honestly, gotta use this badge in Pro-Am, again, in 3v3, major, and then if you have the ability to use it, if you have like a pure defender, I would really recommend to use that on Hall of Fame as well. Heart Crusher, not as good as I would wish it would. It's not really, it's supposed to take their takeover down when you make a steal or a block, but it's pretty trash in my opinion. Interceptor, a lot of people disagree with me on this, but I feel like your steal rating is what determines your interceptions. I feel like interceptor is a bit overrated, but if you want to believe in it, go ahead. I just don't believe it's all that impactful. Intimidator, big time badge, but according to 2K Labs, you don't need this any higher than silver. I've decided to believe that, and honestly, I do believe it. It's pretty, I don't really notice much difference from silver to Hall of Fame, and I'm glad to have two more badges that I can use for that. But big time badge, it works for anything. Contesting perimeter shots, down low, simple as that. Lightning Reflexes, not a good badge. Don't even use that. Moving Truck, I feel like it's an okay badge for what you want it to do, but honestly, there's a better method. I don't use post-move lockdown or moving truck when I'm on the 1v1 court regardless, because I feel like they're going to back you down till they get there anyway. So if anybody's trying to back down punish you, just pulling the chair is a way better aspect to that. Just having that in your game saves you so many badge points for these things. And honestly, just to rely on the pogo stick is a way better thing as well. But anyway, moving along, like I said, I wouldn't recommend moving truck. Off-ball pest, solid badge to have, but I just feel like to have it, it just takes too many badge points, and there's better badges in the game. But if you're in Pro-Am and you're always guarding corner, maybe use it on bronze. I don't know. It's not the best badge, but it does what you would want it to do. Pick Dodger, I'd put it like this. If you don't have Pick Dodger, you're completely screwed. If you do have Pick Dodger, you're just a little bit screwed. It's like, it's a good badge to have, but you're gonna be very frustrated with it sometimes and act like it's not working, but then you take it off completely and you get destroyed by screens and you're just lost. So I'll just put it like that. Pickpocket, another broken badge. I feel like this and Interceptor, they don't work properly. I have a pure lockdown, 6'5", and I don't use Interceptor or Pickpocket. I have 30 defensive badges to use, and I still choose not to use Pickpocket or Interceptor. So, what I will say though, again, I've seen people with 30 steal rating and no pickpocket steal the ball from people with 95 ball control and Hall of Fame unpluckable. So, I just feel like stealing in this game is really more about like how many times you go for it than anything. I wish they would change it and make it so good steal ratings actually stole the ball properly, but hopefully that'll be in the next patch. Pogo stick, again, one of my pride and joys. I put this badge on early on in the year. I realized the interior defense was so bad with the hands up, so I just was jumping, right? But then the people would get me jumping out of my boots, and I would just like, you know, I would not be able to contest shots. So this combined with vertical contest, you hold the left stick toward the hoop, press Y as many times as you want, boom, they can't score on you. Trust me, this is my favorite defensive badge no matter what. Now what I will say, in comp 3v3 or maybe even in Pro-Am, I don't use this or use it very low because in Pro-Am you get a lot of fouls for the jumps, and then in 3v3 stage it's kind of like you don't need this as much because nobody's going to try to dominate you down low. So just keep that in mind. It also helps for rebounds too, as far as like jumping to contest a shot and then also getting the rebound. Again, post move lockdown to tie this in with moving truck. I feel like I don't use this at all and I don't need it, but I guess it's an okay badge for what you want it to do. But my method of defending the post, I don't need either of these badges personally. And you can see that in my 1v1 court against that 98 win percent post if you want to check that out and you don't believe me. Rebound chaser. Use this if you are very unathletic, but if you are athletic, I don't recommend this at all. I used to use this on Hall of Fame and was thinking that it was doing all the work, but really it was just my athletic, super athletic player with 86 vert at 6'9". So I will say if you have good vert and good speed, you don't need this, but if you are very much so lacking that, like a 7'3" pure rim, probably need this badge at a high level. Rim protector, great badge. Honestly, at Hall of Fame, crazy takeover boost when you get blocked like this. Now, I would recommend to no less have this at bronze at least. I love this badge no matter what you are, as at least bronze even if you're a guard. I feel like this helps you protect the hoop and just gives you good contest honestly as well. And then like I said, big takeover boost for every block you get. It also boosts your teammates takeover as well, which is actually pretty crazy. I think this badge is mad underrated. I usually try to use this as high of a level as I can. Tireless defender, great to use as a guard, solid to use as a big man. Never use this as a role player. I'll just put it like that. So anyway, I feel like it's solid for what you would want it to do, but it's like, again, that whole, do I have enough defensive badge points for it? Usually with a guard you have enough, but with a big it's kind of hard to find the use of it. Trapper, trash badge, but what I will say, maybe in Team Pro-Am it fixes a little bit, but like, you gotta really have a scheme built for that. If teams can't beat double teams at half court or something like that, then that's a bad thing. Now, this could be the solution to stopping 5 out, I will say, because you could help off that wing and boom, you have a sudden double team and it makes for a difficult pass. But anyway, and now for Worm. Honestly, again, as far as rebound chaser, tying this in, I feel like Worm is something to use as a 7'3" big, but me personally with my mobility, I can get around the box outs most of the time anyway and just run past them. So I don't really recommend to use this as an undersized big, but as a gigantic big man and you don't have any speed to run around somebody, to just shove them out of the way, probably the way to go. And for somebody like me who uses this box really low of a level, it may help you actually get rebounds against me. So anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video. That was a lot of talking. 24 minutes of just talking like that. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed the little breakdown and just the information on how I feel about these badges. If you did enjoy, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, all that good stuff. Turn on the noties. Check out the Ticino detail video from yesterday, and then also go check out that 1v1 video against the post scorer. I got 2 bangers going on right now, and I'd really appreciate if you guys would check those out. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like I said, if you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new, all that good stuff. If you made it to the end of the video and want to show your support that you made it all the way, put badge in the comments if you made it to the end. But anyway, hope y'all enjoyed. Other than that, take it easy, man. Peace.